Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm here today to do a quick kind of mid-monthly wrap-up, tell you kind of what I'm currently reading right now, and do a kind of end or rest of the month September TBR. I started this channel a little bit late, so I did not do a September TBR, so I decided that I would do this instead. I had a little bit of free time today, so I figured why not. I would go ahead and just kind of go over real quick the books that I've already read and what I plan on reading for the rest of the month. I do own some of these in physical copies, so those I will show you, but the rest I just have on my Kindle. I am a huge ebook reader. I do like the physical copies, but it's more practical with my life being full-time, where I work full-time and I have 3 kids, so I'm constantly on the move, constantly going places, so it's a lot easier most of the time to have my Kindle or the Kindle app on my phone that I can read anywhere. Sometimes it's also a lot cheaper because I use Overdrive a lot, so I get a lot of my books off of Overdrive. So a lot of these are on my Kindle. Some of these, especially ones I have not read, I don't know a whole lot about, so I won't be going into huge details about them. The ones that I've already read are also like later on in the series, so won't be going into a whole lot of detail about them. But let's go ahead and get started. So the first book that I finished this month was a Christine Feehan book, Dark Peril, which is, sorry for the glare, I'm sitting in front of a window. This is the 18th book in her Dark series. It is a paranormal romance that takes place in the Carpathian Mountains. They are about these immortals. They're called the Carpathians. They basically protect the humans from like vampires and stuff like that. So far I've read the 18th book, which was Dark Peril. I have read the 19th book, which was Dark Predator. And then I am, I'm trying to make my way through the Dark series, and so that's where I'm at as of right now. I also read a short novella in the Anita Blake series. It was in the Bite anthology. So I read that. It was just a cute little quick, glares kind of bad. It was just a cute little quick novella that was, I think it was 8.5. And then, let's see, where am I at? Then I had one book left in the Slater Brothers series by L.A. Casey. This is a romance book about these 4 these 4 brothers who are from America, and they go to Ireland, and for certain reasons that you'll find out throughout the books, but the first several books are actually, no, I think it's 5 brothers, not 4, my mistake. But each book's about a different brother, and this 6th book is kind of a where are they at now. It takes place, I believe it's like 20 years after the 5th book, and it wraps up where they are now with all of the brothers, and it basically is about them finding, you know, the love of their life, and they decide to make Ireland their home. So I was really happy to be able to read that 6th book and kind of wrap up where they all are now. After that, I read Obsidian Butterfly, which is the 9th book, I believe, in the Anita Blake series. This was a good one. I'm liking the Anita Blake series. I'm not loving it, but I am really enjoying it. I've been listening to these mostly in audiobook while I'm at work. Not going to tell you a whole lot about them just because this is later on in the series. But Anita Blake is a necromancer. She raises zombies from the dead. So if, just for an example, if, say, a will needs to be contested, but about somebody who recently died, they will bring like the lawyers out to the grave, and she will go out and she will raise that person from the dead. They will ask them the questions, and verify whatever information they need, and then she will put them back in the ground. So it's interesting. It really is. Like I said, I am enjoying it. After that, I did read book 20 in the Dark series. This was Dark Storm. This was a good one. Once again, not going to go into a whole lot of detail because it is so far into the series. Each book does follow a different Carpathian in finding their life mate, which is the one true person that their soul is drawn to. It's basically their soulmate. It's the one person that they are meant to be with. Currently, that's what I've read so far this month. Currently, what I am reading is I am reading book 21 of the Dark series. This will probably be the last one I read this month. I will pick back up with book 22 next month, but this is Dark Lichen. So throughout the entire series, there's always this kind of myth about whether lichens or werewolves exist. They know that they used to, but no one has seen any for centuries, and so they're just kind of like this almost mythological creature to them. Well, this is about a lichen who comes into play named Finn, and he finds his life mate who is a dragon seeker. That's really all I'm gonna say, because once again, this is the 21st book in the series. I am also doing a reread with some of my friends. This is the first book in the Argano series. This is A Quick Bite by Lindsay Sands. I have read this before, so it is a reread, but I've been wanting several of my friends to start this series, and I finally talked them into it, and I decided that it's been almost 2 years since I've started this series, and I currently, with some of my other friends that are currently reading it, we read one book a month, just to kind of draw it out, and we also read so many other things. We don't want to get burned out or anything. These are hilarious. This very first book is super corny, super cheesy. When I read it, I was like, okay, really? But it had me laughing. It had me laughing enough and had me intrigued enough that I decided I'd go ahead and pick up the second one. And the second one was a lot better. And now I'll be reading the 21st book this month. Every book gets better and better. But this series is about they're immortals. They don't like to be called vampires. It takes a whole different spin on vampires, though, because they are completely human. They're alive. When they're young, up to about 100 years old or so, they can eat food, drinks, all of that. But once they start to hit about 200 years old, things start kind of tasting bland. It's not that they can't eat it anymore, and they still do at certain functions where they need to appear to be normal, but it just kind of becomes bland, and it's like they've tasted everything, and it doesn't have any, like, they have no draw to eat it, so they just stop. But this story is each book in this series is about a different Argano family member. The Arganos are a huge family, who is led by like the matriarch of the family, Marguerite. Well, this is about her daughter, Lysiana, and she has a phobia of blood, which is not great considering she's an immortal who drinks blood. Each book does go into detail about why they have to ingest blood. It's because they're an ancient civilization, from way back in the time with, like, before Atlantis fell. I know, like I said, sounds super cheesy and corny, but it is. They come from Atlantis. They were super scientifically advanced. They had created nanos that get injected into the bloodstream, which were designed to go in and fight infections, cancer, any kind of ailment that would be causing problems, making people sick. Then they were designed to die off, and the body was to reject them once they fixed whatever the issue was. What they didn't take into account is our bodies are under constant attack. They, from age, pollution, sun, illnesses, everything. So they never died. These nanos, they basically are fueled, and they feed off, how they work is by our blood. Well, our bodies don't make enough blood to fuel them, So therefore, they have to ingest blood, whether it's by IV or drinking it or whatever the case may be. Well, Lysiana has a huge blood phobia. One sight of blood, whether it's in a bag, a cup coming out of, off of someone, one sight of blood, and she passes out. So her mother, Marguerite, decides that she's going to kidnap a psychiatrist that specializes in phobias to try to cure her daughter. But like I said, each book's about them finding their life mates, which is the one person that reawakens everything that had basically went to sleep in their system, their love for food, everything, so, and like I said, they're super cheesy, they're kind of corny, but as you get further into the series, they get better and better, and they literally have me laughing so hard, like literally laugh out loud, that my husband and my kids will look at me and be like, why are you over there cracking up? I'm like, it's just the books. You've got to read them. So then next, after I finish those 2 books, I am super behind on this because I just found out about it not too long ago. And I decided, since I'm creating this booktube channel, why not? So Courtney from Courtagonist is doing this cozy mystery kind of read along. I believe it's a book club that she does. It's called Cozy Escape. Well, this month they are reading Death by Coffee by Alex Erickson. And I decided, I had it on my Kindle, so I would go ahead and read along with them. I haven't started it yet. I am so behind. Like I said, I'm super behind, but I'm going to be starting this and getting caught up with where they are, and then reading along with them for the rest of this month with this book. Don't really know anything about it. I do like to go into my books blind for the most part. I might glance over some synopsises here and there, just to kind of get a good idea if I'm looking for something specific to read. But I kind of like to go into things blind. With it being September and going into fall, me and some of my friends decided we wanted to find some things that were more fall related. And I know this time of year I kind of like to pick up those cozy mysteries and thrillers and stuff like that. And so I was looking for just a cute little cozy mystery before I'd found out about Courtney doing hers. So I found this one called Chilly to Die For by Lily York. It is a Willow Crier cozy mystery. Like I said, don't know a whole lot about it. I do know she's from Oklahoma, which I thought was crazy because that's where I'm from. And it's a little cozy mystery about this girl who decides to do a chili cook-off, enter into a chili cook-off contest. And then someone ends up dying, and I'm assuming she probably tries to solve the murder of what happened to this said person. So we'll see how that goes. Next, going along with the Arsenault series, this month I am picking up book 21, which is An Immortal Who Loved Me, once again by Lindsay Sands. I'm not sure who this one's about. I don't remember. I know I looked at the synopsis the other day just to kind of see who I was going to be reading about, and now for the life of me I can't remember. But I am so excited about this. Every single month, this is probably the one series that I look forward to the most. Then I plan on picking up the most current book in the Immortal Guardian series by Diana Duvall. This is Death of Darkness. This book was just released in August. This is her 9th book, I believe. Yeah, the 9th book in her Immortal Guardian series. Her Immortal Guardian series is a paranormal romance about these immortal guardians. They are kind of same as like the Dark series and the Arsenault series. They feed off of blood and everything, but they are not vampires or anything like that. They actually protect the human race. They are guardians of the human race, and they fight off vampires. And each book's about a different member of the Immortal Guardians, and the leader of the Immortal Guardians, which is like the oldest Immortal Guardian in existence, Seth. This is his book. I have been waiting for this story for so long. I'm hoping this finally answers all the questions that I had about Seth. There are so many, let me tell you. And I'm really, really, really excited to read this book and see if this finally answers those questions that I've had in the last 8 books, of Seth and his past and his history and how he became who he is. Then this I will probably be listening to on audiobook, but I am very late to this. I've been planning on reading this series for years. But I'm finally going to be picking up Dark Lover by J.R. Ward. Like I said, I'm probably going to be reading it on audiobook. I found out that it is in the Audible Escape, which is the service that you pay each month, and it's basically unlimited romance books. They have this series, or at least most of them, in the Audible Escape, the romance package. So this I will be able to read while I'm at work. So I'm super excited to finally be getting into this series. I know I've been hearing so many good reviews on this series. After that, I'm kind of embarrassed to say this, but I have never read the Harry Potter series. I have finally read up to book 6, and then I have not read 7 or 8, but I am very embarrassed to say that because it is such a popular series. But this month I do plan on picking up Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, which is book 7. Obviously, as everyone knows, I don't think I need to go into a synopsis or anything about what this is about, because I'm pretty sure everyone knows what this is about. But I do plan on picking that up later. I also decided when I was looking for some fallish reads, because even though here in Oklahoma it's still like 90 degrees outside and super humid and everything, and everything's still green and nothing is not fall yet. I'm in that fall vibe. It's September. I'm ready for fall, and so I wanted to find some cute little books that I could read for fall. So I found this, which is Autumn at Apple Hill by Angie Ellington. Once again, don't really know a whole lot about it. From what I did catch, it is about a girl who goes to a small town, or she goes back to her hometown after recently being divorced, to operate her grandmother's bed and breakfast that she inherited from her grandma. Apparently there is a love interest that starts giving her trouble at every turn, it says. So it's just a cute little audiobook, it is on Audible. I think it's like a couple hours long. Just a cute little autumn read, so I'm super excited about that. And then this next one is also just a cute fall read. It is about Anita Blake, who returns to her small hometown of Mill Hollows, Virginia, after she fell in love with her boss's son, I believe it was. But she falls in love with him and then it ends, and it doesn't end too great. So she decides to go back home to her small football-loving town, and I'm assuming she probably ends up finding love again. So this is going to be just another cute little read that I'm excited to pick up. Those are also on the Audible Escape. So I believe they're like a couple of hours long, like 3 or 4 hours long, and I'm usually able to listen to my romances about 2 times the speed, so I'll probably be able to finish both of those in just a few hours. So I'm excited about that. Then closer towards the end of the month, I am looking for some more of the spooky-ish type reads. So I am planning on picking up The Merciless by Diana Danielle Vega. Sorry about that. Don't know a whole lot about it. I know it went around BookTube maybe a couple of years ago or so everybody was reading it. I am looking forward to picking it up and trying it out. After that, I do plan on picking up The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer. I'm pretty sure probably everyone knows what this book's about. I did not look too much into the synopsis because, once again, I like to kind of go into things blindly. I know that this was really popular for a while as well. I do know it kind of, from what I remember, is it kind of has maybe some spooky aspects to it, so I'm really looking forward to reading this. And then I plan on picking up Mindy McGinnis's A Madness So Discreet. Kind of the same thing with that one. I know it was going around there for a little while. It was kind of popular from what I remember. It kind of has some spooky aspects about horrific family secrets and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to reading that as well. And that's about it. If I can make it through all of that, then I will be lucky. If I happen to read more than that, then I will include that in my wrap-up that I am planning on filming at the beginning of October. So let's see what I can do. What kind of books are you looking forward to reading this month? Is there any specific fall type reads that you plan on reading, or is there a specific type of books that you like to read during this time of year? Let me know down in the comments. I'd be happy to, I would love to talk to you about stuff like that, like what kind of books you're planning on reading, what type of books you like to read at this time of year. As well as, like always, if you like this video, subscribe to my channel. Definitely comment down below. Can't wait to talk to y'all. And that's it for now. I will talk to y'all later. Have a good day.